So that wraps up day 6 here in Dubai for the 2025 IBA World Championships. Delighted to be joined by commentators Ronald McIntosh and Andy Clark to recap the day's boxing. Andy, I'll come to you first because you had a couple of big heavy knockouts in this ring here.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I don't know what's happened in Ring A this tournament, because I just keep getting merciless chinnings. And I had one today from Asil Kulov on Dlamini, really early in the first round. Basically where we're standing now, he just stepped in, southpaw left hand, scythed into his chin, and that was it, lights out. It was brutal and really, really quick. And the other really impressive performance wasn't a single punch knockout, but Giovis, this young Cuban, who I'd not seen before, and we were talking about him before the start, Rob, because he'd been through the school, obviously, he's had the seasoning, he's boxed domestically there, and he was in with Martin Molina, someone I've seen loads of down the last 10 years, basically, boxed a ton of WSB, really experienced guy, good fighter, and he just took him apart in a minute. I mean, it was really impressive. He cuffed him on the side of the head and sent him into the ropes. The referee probably could have stopped it quicker, but that was, you don't expect stoppages, do you, at lower weights, basically, and I definitely didn't expect him to do that to someone like that. It was impressive.
So all action here. Ron, what was it like in your ring?
Ring A, this stage of the competition, remember, everybody fighting for that progression through to the quarterfinals and a guaranteed minimum of $10,000 US, and there was some real quality. But what caught my eye was the final bout of session number 11, the first session of the day, which got underway at 5 p.m. local time. 86 kilogram cruiserweight action, and it was Parvis Karimov, who's an Asian silver medalist from the event last year, the 2024 championships, and he faced off against Alexei Alfirov from Belarus. Now, 4 years ago, Andy and I were at the Stark Arena in Belgrade, and Alexei Alfirov, he's got an everyman appeal. He just didn't seem, he turned up for the final in Belarus, and his jersey was inside out. Just looked like he's going for a Sunday stroll. He's an amazing boxer, switch hitter. Here he is at the round of 16, up at 86 kilograms now. And by the way, that final in Belgrade 2021 was the most amazing contest you could ever see. It was against Robbie Gonzalez from the United States, who clambered his way back into contention, overturned the deficit, went to several layers of countback, and so Alfirov came away with a World Championship silver 4 years ago in Belgrade. Here he is, the round of 16, facing off against Parvis Karimov, and the contest that he produced, the performance was absolutely amazing. Switch hitter, but he stayed as a southpaw, and he kept hitting the man to the body really hard, really often, bolo punches, straight shots. He looks as though he's been in the gym, he's put some size on, and he doesn't look like Charlie Chaplin, a Charlie Chaplin type figure anymore. Targeted the body brilliantly, brought the hands down of Karimov. He started adopting the half-cover guard. That left the chin open, and he switched the attack upstairs. Hard-fought victory. Karimov never stopped coming, but he got outboxed comprehensively by a really skillful display. It was incredible to behold.
Yeah, now obviously we're into the last 8, so the money has been earned by these boxers, but there's so much left to play for. And Andy, this really is the business end of the tournament now. All of these bouts, there's going to be no gimmies.
No, not at all, and you just see the fighters progressing. You know, I saw Hassan Boy today, Hassan Boy Dozmatov. You know, I described La Cruz as getting his 521st unanimous decision, 30 points to 27 yesterday. Dozmatov's had a few of them, and he had another one today. The kind of the story of my ring at times as well, though, has been Russia. They've been so good, and they had this kid today who I'd seen before, Vyacheslav Rogozhin, youth champion last year, southpaw. He was great. He went through again. Then I had Sharabuddin Atayev up at cruiser. You'll have seen him plenty. Again, really well organised. Can do it kind of any which way. And he went through. I had Denis Lebedev behind me, shouting his head off, leading some kind of chant. Wasn't going to argue with that. And quite a lot of Russian fans down here. And obviously for Russian athletes, you know, these have been difficult the last few years. The geopolitical scene is not in their favour. But they're athletes. They just want to indulge in their sport. And they're all here, and they are good. You know, they really are good.
The Russians and the Uzbeks especially have impressed me. Ron, who have you been impressed by so far?
Well, again, in terms of nations or just individuals?
Yeah, nations, and if you have any individuals, you can let us know.
Well, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, the Central Asian nations, Mongolia have put a team together. Some of the guys reside in LA, but they have brought their characteristic toughness and skill set to the party. So a lot of the Central Asian nations have been really impressive. So they've caught my eye. some of the nations from Africa. We've had African champions, all Africa Games medalists, including Peter, who was in a fantastic contrast against Adrian Fresneda, young guy who won heavyweight gold at the World Youth Championships in 2022, born in Havana, now boxing for Spain, won a national junior championship in Cuba. That gives you an idea as to how good he is. But against Peter, he's a compact, muscular guy, two-time African champion, reigning All-Africa Games gold medalist, and those two produced a back-and-forth affair, which went to countback and went to bout review, and the evaluator and the observer had different scores, so it was basically overturned from what would have been a narrow split for the tall, sharpshooting Spanish guy born in Havana, and it was Peter who's gone through. So again, to see the emergence of the African nations and the continued development of them, Patrick Chinyemba, absolutely sensational.
I had
in the
2-3
ring.
from Mozambique today
Yes.
as well. Muxanga, who we kind of expected probably weird fight. His opponent got disqualified for use of the head, where they both seem to be at it to me, but the ref, Luca Vadalonga, who we both think is probably the best referee, I reckon, he got on him about it really quick and warned him, so you couldn't, in a sense, he couldn't really argue. And Sigalk as well, he boxed really well. So 2-3 from Mozambique, and that's big news. That is big news. Say one of them gets to the final. This is just a lot of money we're talking about here.
And Mozambique's women have been leading the charge for a long time, and to see their men catching up and starting to impose themselves on a global scene, as the women have been doing for a long time, hugely encouraging to witness.
Yeah, we really have seen it all so far at the IBA World Championships, and the boxing continues here for day 7 tomorrow.